Woodward, we are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up.
Y'all got Kool-Aid
I'm
hot.
fired up. But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Hey, what up, though, people? Hey, you know what, man? We made it. We made it. We made it. And we all made it here safe and sound. Now I see why Flannel was like, hey, guys, I'm not going to be here Thursday and
That
Friday.
son of a bitch. He knew.
He knew what was going on. He was like, KG, enjoy your time. Way to go. I'm just like, you know what, man? All of this snow, but this is Wake Up Woodward. This is Wake Up Woodward. The sun is just starting to peek up over the buildings and over the clouds over here. Lions and Bills is on the way,
Yes,
man.
sir.
So
I can't wait.
Can't
wait.
Couple days of some football talk, and we break down the game tomorrow. We do have high def stuff tomorrow as well.
Shout out.
So shout out, man. But it's your boy Brandon Day, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Detroit Pistons reporting writer for the network. Got KG on the desk filling in for the vet of the squad. Flannel Sam. Got KG, aka Black Hollywood.
Hey,
what up, though, brother?
Hey, listen, Flannel ain't here shit about the change. Nah, I'm talking shit. But, hey, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We appreciate y'all being patient with all the snow and everything. Everybody got here safely, so that's what's most important right now. But happy to be here with y'all, man.
Hey, definitely, man. Chat family, as always, you all are the most important part, I promise you, of Woodward Sports and Wake Up Woodward. So go on ahead, let's smash that like button, and let's have a day. Hey, you know what? Because I'm already on one. I'll let you guys know why in just a little bit. It has something to do with that team down south that we call Ohio. Man, we should have never gave them Toledo.
Yeah, I know, right? We should have kept it, bro.
We should have just kept it.
In retrospect.
But it's still Detroit Junior. Shout out to Trav. But you know what, man? Let me see here. Before we get into it, I need you guys to put in what you believe the question of the day should be. So we've talked about the worst GMs. We talked about the worst coaches.
Yep.
When Flannel gets back, we'll talk about some of the best trades and worst trades and such. But chat family, put in the chat, what do you think that question of the day will be? We will shout you out. We will ask that question before the end of this first segment. But JB Smooth, do you have this Ohio nonsense?
I do not at the moment. Give me 1 second, because I know it's been a struggle getting in today for everybody.
It's
But
all good.
I'll
It
get
should be
for you.
something in Slack, though.
Yeah.
Because we used it a lot yesterday, that whole ass state next to us.
Yeah, man, and that's the thing. I want to get the exact aspect of what was going down, but there's a bill that somebody presented in the Ohio legislature that states it should be a felony to plant the flag in the center of Ohio Stadium.
Say
the
it
toilet
with me.
bowl.
SOFT. Soft. I mean,
Short and soft, man. It goes just hand in hand with the toilet bowl.
I mean, just why? And you know what? Me and Neil got into it the other day off camera, and he was pretty much saying like the game didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. And I told him like, yeah, technically yes, because Ohio State, they're still in the playoff, and Michigan, although the win was great, our season is in the toilet. We all know that. But ultimately, when you look at just how they reacted, the shit with the flag, and now you get this, literally they are trying to put into law that it's against the law to celebrate a win. That's how I look at it.
Sherman's taking over the chat right now.
It's the weakest shit ever, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Like, if Michigan doesn't win that game, this isn't even concocted. This isn't even thought of. So I think it's weak. I think it's weak sauce.
Eric, bro, a felony? WTF? Mike G, Ohio is softer than Easy's left butt cheek. I don't know how you know how soft it is.
Whoa, pause, big dog.
Hey,
Pause.
but Eric Burrow, Toledo is baby Detroit. And I'm seeing a bunch of Charmin, and Ohio is soft. Why would you even do this? If you're from the state of Ohio, if you want to do this, timing is everything.
Yeah.
You're going to just go and throw your team down the chute like this.
But I mean, they butt hurt though, and this is something that listen, the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry is one of the best rivalries in college sports, right? But it's always to me been sort of one-sided. Like, yes, we hate them, but we don't really, like, outside of the game, we don't really give a fuck. Like, we don't really care. We don't even speak Ohio State until it's the week that we play them. And it's kind of the same thing with the Lions and the NFC North opponents. Like, but you go to Ohio, they don't even have the flag in terms of, they got all the Big Ten flags, but they missing the Michigan flag. You go to a Cavaliers game, somebody at the free throw line, they put a Michigan symbol up. Like, this is deep bred hatred by the people of Ohio.
What did the Ohio State band do? They had the little, what was it, a Wolverine or something that pooped, and then the poop emoji covered up the Michigan logo. It was they used flags to do so, and we wasn't even playing them. Now we go and we win, and they said that this thing is because they don't want to put cops in harm's way, and it's inciting fights on the field. I don't want to
hear that.
I saw them plant the field. I saw them only Michigan on the field celebrating, right?
Yeah.
So you're sitting here telling me, instead of saying, you know what, our guys should have just went into the locker room and took this L, you're telling me that is the issue, that the issue is that Michigan planted the field, not that your guys have no self-control. They want to be all big and bad and fight after the whistle?
Yeah.
We don't even teach that in any sport.
No, that's a
fact.
fact.
Leave it on the field, period. Between the digits. After that, bro, if you've lost, that's what you've earned. There isn't any aspect of like, oh, the refs this. There was no aspect of, oh, you know what? There was just this one. Bro, you guys were favored by 20.
Exactly.
Y'all were running y'all miles. You guys said it's finally done. Y'all went out there and spent $20 million. That's what wound up happening. And then when you lose, everything is about pointing the finger at everybody else, and then you go and you have somebody in within your political system do something like this. It's just like, man, bro, you just really don't get it, huh?
Yeah, mind you, this happened twice to Michigan. Like, we got beat by Texas here and we got beat by Oregon here, and they both came in here and planted the flag. So to me, it's like,
and there was a fight, right?
Yeah, no, we took our L like a man. We went to the fucking locker room and we came back the next week.
Right?
No, that shit is it's so weak, man. And ultimately, I feel like you taking the juice out of the rivalry by doing something like this. Now, do I think the law will actually get passed? It better not. I mean, just being real, like, I don't think they will actually put this in the law, but if they do, just even the thought of it's unbelievable, bro. And it just adds yet another layer to how soft Ohio State has become over the years, because even like the early 2000s Ohio State, the Jim Tressel Ohio State, you didn't have to worry about this type of shit. The Urban Meyer Ohio State, they took their L's like a man. So yep. I don't get it, man. It's weak sauce.
It is weak sauce. Look, bro, the previous regimes was like Wes Mantooth and Ron Burgundy.
Yeah,
there was a healthy hate and a healthy respect there. This one right now, I don't respect it. And the microcosm is Ryan Day sitting there on the field, watching all of this unfold, and just asking everybody who walks by him what happened. Rather than, if you don't know, and I can give you that, maybe your perspective and your advantage is you just don't know. Get in the know, though. You can't just get what happened and people are walking past you. That, to me, tells me everything I need to know about who you are on that sideline and within that organization. People are like walking by, hey, what happened? And they're just walking by.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? Now, get to the locker room. It's just like, and then you're just sitting there and you watching Sawyer go off. And that's the thing. I've even heard Ohio State fans. Shout out to the ball knower, Lucas Klotz, man.
Hey, shout out.
I was cracking up at his response to this. Because I remember when we talked about this last year after Michigan beat Ohio State. And he was like, look, bro, if they beat him again, Ryan Day has to go. He was like, bro, it's so crazy. I'm a diehard that I almost feel like just flipping fandoms just to give them the biggest middle finger in the world. He's like, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
And he was like, look, I slept on it, gave it a couple days, so I'm not going to be emotional. And then he absolutely tore into Ryan Day. We had Ohio State fans call in too. So it's like, I want to be fair. I want to be fair to them. Because at least Ohio State fans, we know. Travis, he paid up to his bet. Lucas ripped them a new one. The callers who call our show, they're like, bro, this is not it. So at least some people out there in Ohio land, they understand what it is. And I don't think that this type of stuff makes it any better for them.
Absolutely.
But for the height of the rivalry, this is stuff we're going to be talking about for the next 20, 30 years, bro.
No, absolutely. And this is really just a microcosm of what the Ohio State program is at this point and who's behind it. I mean, Ryan Day, we all know somebody that seems inauthentic, somebody that seems like he doesn't really have a grasp of his team. Yes, they are one of the highest paid, college teams in the dance, but ultimately, do you really feel like he has control over that program? I don't think so. And then you look that if they go into the playoff, and they lose I think they'll lose in the first round, but even if they don't, if they lose at any point without getting to a national championship, what does that mean for Ryan Day? How can you continue to let this man coach? Because, yes, his Big Ten record is impeccable, but he can't win the big games. He can't win in the postseason, and for damn sure he can't win against Michigan. And in a year where you were favored by 20 points, and this is probably the worst Michigan product that we have had at least in the last 6 to 7 years, you couldn't go out there and get the job done. This just speaks to that.
There you go.
It just speaks to it.
And you know, we called this because of the fact that even though we know Jim Harbaugh had a lot to do with the game plan in the weeks that Sherrone Moore did coach, I did see a difference in how the game was actually called.
Yeah.
And I could see some things there, and it was just like, you know what? We know that Sherrone Moore is responsible for what's going on in the trenches. So he's supposed to be overall making sure that everything else is a go-to, because if that quarterback is not right, we're not going to point the finger at the quarterback coach. We're not going to point the finger at the offensive coordinator. Ultimately, it goes to the master recruiter, and that's supposed to be Sherrone Moore.
Yeah.
But ultimately, what he specialized in, he went in there and they manhandled and they held their own, more than held their own, against Ohio State in the trenches on both sides of the ball, man.
But guess what? That's Ohio State's fault. They got out of their game plan. To be honest with you, if Ohio State had came in there and passed 50 times, they probably beat us by a substantial amount. But what did they do? They tried to be inauthentic. They went in there trying to run against a Michigan team that they know they not as physical as us.
They tried to get a little bit.
They tried the big boys. They tried the big boys, and it didn't work.
It bit them. Oh my gosh. Hey, you know what? Before we move on real quick, hey, what up, though? We got that dude, Justin. What up, though, brother?
My dog.
Glad to have you in front.
It's a good day to be here. I'm back for the next month. I'm super excited and just ready to go. I want to touch on this because this is such an interesting topic to me.
It is.
It really is. But I don't agree with you, KG. They did try to bully us for that first half, but then they realized that they couldn't do that, and they tried to go into that drop-back pass a little more, but they couldn't do anything. Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham continuously blew up the middle, making Will Howard have no time to throw, forcing bad decisions, and they kind of got shorthanded because they couldn't run, they couldn't pass, they couldn't do anything they wanted, and that's not a situation that they've been in this entire season. Even against Oregon, their offense was moving. Every time they targeted Jeremiah Smith, they made a play, and they couldn't do that against Michigan. Michigan took everything that they had and shut them down without Will Johnson.
And Justin, you right, but by the time the second half came around, the momentum had already swung, in my opinion. Like from
they
the time
were
of that,
emotional, bro. Ohio State looked like some frustrated kids who just couldn't tie their shoes
absolutely.
right.
From the time of that Amir Hall interception, man, I felt like the game they were clenched up at that point, and they never really recovered. So while I do agree, ultimately they cost themselves in that game. Is the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, they played not to lose instead of trying to win.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's because I believe Ryan Day is scared. Some people believe they look down on Michigan. I don't think that's the case. I believe this is a situation where this is a house of horrors, and he has not been able to figure them out. Part of me wonders, I want to believe that Wink Martindale just got better as the season got on. Sometimes habits are things that you have to kind of grow through. And not something that just changes overnight, especially when you're a coach. You've relied on these principles. But as time goes on, we know that the errors can change what you have to do, especially based on the matchup. So I don't believe that they just sat on a game plan all year for Ohio State. But I do believe as the year went on, they understood what they need to do to get better as coaches, to put these players in the right positions to succeed. It makes me more confident with them going forward because they do have a lot of work to do as it relates to getting more talent in here. But if these coaches are proving that they can put these players in a good position no matter who's playing or not, because they were missing some stars against Ohio State.
Absolutely.
That secondary still, especially in the second half when they were tested a little bit more, they looked formidable. And that is a testament to at least the growth of the coaching staff.
No, absolutely. And that's why you see Wink Martindale is still here and Kirk Campbell is not, because Wink Martindale was able to evolve as the season went along. Was it perfect the whole season? Absolutely not. But especially the last 3 games, I felt like he got a grasp of, where he was at talent-wise and personnel-wise, and he played to their strengths instead of trying to make them fit into what he wanted them to do. So ultimately, Wink Martindale is going to get another year to figure this thing out, and with hopefully better talent, I feel like he can grow even more as a coach. And welcome Chip Lindsey to the Wolverines. Really I'm looking forward to what he can do with a power spread offense. If we can get better skill positions in here, then I feel like this Michigan offense looks completely different.
You better wait for that transfer portal.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a time, man. I can't wait.
Look how happy he looks.
Well, Flannel capped it perfectly yesterday with Chip Lindsey and what he's going to do to bring this offense to the next level. Like you talked about how Harbaugh could be Sherrone Moore could be a better recruiter than Harbaugh, and I believe that. I see the nuance that he's bringing, the new style of offense. He's taking Bryce Underwood and he's not letting him be J.J. McCarthy in Michigan. He is letting him be that playmaker that he is supposed to be, and I'm just so excited.
That to me is what I'm excited about. Seeing them bring athletes here and really fit them to the old Michigan mold. And then the only time they didn't fit them to the old Michigan mold was under Rich Rod, but all his players are too little to play in the Big Ten. They were speedy, but they were not big enough to play in this Big Ten. Now look, let's get into this next segment. We got to talk Detroit Lions. Got a little Aiden Hutchinson conversation, some updates. We got to talk about the Lions' different units, offense, the defense, the special teams, and the different layers. Because at one point in time, this offensive line was unquestionably the best unit on this team. Is that still the case?
Yeah.
We also have a little bit of conversation on the Tigers and if they should spend some money. And just a quick preview on some aspects. I know you have a Would You Rather, but some quick preview on certain parts of this game as well. I know we're going to get a little bit more in depth with the breakdown tomorrow. I also have that question. Who are some of your favorite Detroit sports role players?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yep, so think about it. Well, I'll make sure we can start giving our answers in the next segment when we come back. But I just want to make sure we get the rest of the cast introduced. What up, though? Cavassier Chase. Decked out in the chips, man. He's fired up this morning.
Hey, what up? Yeah, this is my winter sweatshirt. It's a couple sizes big. My sister's boyfriend goes to like the Salvation Army and like Goodwill and stuff like that. So he always finds like
man then.
Yeah. He always goes and like gets the good stuff that the athletes, when they're done playing, they give away. And come wintertime, man, you can always layer up with it. It's super nice.
So you're wearing a linebacker's hoodie right now.
This is probably like a lineman, somebody in the trenches. There's a couple X's on the tag.
Oh, God.
And I know we introduced somebody just one more time. What up, though? That dude, Justin.
Hey, I'm just here. I'm chilling. I'm happy.
You look happy, bro.
The smile is huge. I'm in a cheese-off competition with Kool-Aid right now.
My man in all wings gear. You must be believing, man. You must be.
No.
Yeah, he like
I'm just a good fan.
I understand.
I gotta be loyal to the boys, but
I understand.
The boys are not boying right now.
WUW Sports MVP in the TD booth. That's JB Smooth.
Jay Bizzle.
Hey, I'm just happy to be here right now. It's been a morning trying to make it to the studio, period, as it is. Everyone is driving extremely slow. I know this is like our first downpour of snow out there, so just be careful out there. Don't be dicks on the road, but speed it up just a little bit for me. Just a little bit. I'm just saying.
Hey, let's rock. And you know what? I got to tell the people about the best party going down December 15th for the Lions pregame. It's at Detroit's very own second best bar, located at 42 Watson Street. You get to enjoy a little bit of smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show. Only at second best bar. Come get some.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 days of fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry, offer ends December 20th.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Law, man. And listen, let's just get real, man. I know we got the read, but listen, she not calling you back, man. She got the kids. She being vindictive, man. And it's just reaching that point where you just really need some help and you need somebody on your side. Well, that's KDK Law, man. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability. You can scan that QR code right above my head. Or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you, and KDK will pay that filing fee. And like I said, KDK Law, you know they got your back.
KDK Law got your back. Wake up, Woodward. Woodward Sports got yours, chat family. We hope you have ours. Let's run up those likes, man. We got my man KG on the desk today.
Yes, sir.
Kavasi Chase in the building. The Elite booth today. That dude Justin on sounds. We got Woodward Sports MVP. Hey, JB Smooth in the TD booth. Shout out to our brother Flannel Sam. Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder as well. Enjoy your vacation. Enjoy being in less snowy and much warmer weather, Flannel. I don't envy you right now. But we got here safe. I know we got things going a little bit late, but you know what? Let's get into that question of the day. I thought it was funny because we all understand how much Flannel Sam loves role players.
That's
right?
a fact, yeah.
So I wanted to ask, what are some of your favorite Detroit sports role players as we get into a little bit of this Aiden Hutchinson and defensive line conversation? But I'll start with you, KG.
Well, a couple Pistons ones, of course, got to shout out Lindsey Hunter, friend of the network. You know, my boy Lindsey, one of the best Pistons, was very integral in the 04 championship. Antonio McDyess, man, he's somebody that I know it didn't necessarily work out. We didn't end it where we wanted to go with McDyess on the team, but he's somebody that
Game 7 of the finals. So.
Listen, but he's somebody that came in and provided instant offense for this team, and I was always a fan of Antonio McDyess. We talking Lions, man. There's so many, bro. Nate Burleson, I felt like he deserved better when he was here. Shout out Nate Burleson. Eddie Drummond. And listen,
kick returner.
Exactly. That was the first time like I had ever, as a football fan, really saw an electric kick return, man. And he was good for like a couple of them a season, man. So there's more. I can go down the list, man, but that's just a couple off the top of my head.
Hey, yep, I'm seeing Corliss Williamson in the chat.
Hey, shout out
to him as well when he got here. I see in the Palace Prince. Hey, you know what? He was an underrated star in my opinion. I can't even call him a role player in my opinion. And he should have made at least one of those All-Stars. But
that's a fact.
Yeah, but
any Brandon Inge fans in here?
I was about to say, you gotta say Brandon Inge. He has a great name.
A lot of my favorite players are actually role players, and it's kind of ironic because I was a role player for most of my playing career as well. But Darren Helm for the Red Wings always has a special place in my heart. Gave me his stick when I was like 10 years old as well.
That's what's up.
Huge shout out to him. Placido Polanco is my favorite player of all time.
Yeah,
I don't even consider him a role player. He was like, he was a part of the core of that Tigers.
He hit over 330. So
yeah,
I mean, he's definitely might be on the cusp of role player. For the Pistons, that's so hard. I was low key a Stanley Johnson fan in the beginning, but I quickly turned sour.
Stanley Johnson.
I'll have to think of some more.
You know what? Really, Mr. Biggs, he said one of my all-time favorites.
Javid Best.
Oh, Javid Best was the man.
Javid Best.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Really,
goddamn concussions took him out, man.
Goodness.
We lost one to the concussions, man.
Junkyard Dog, Jerome Williams from the Till era.
Yeah.
Yep, played in between. He played with Jerry Stackhouse.
Yeah.
You talk about a guy who was just all out hustle and all out work during the era where sometimes they might have been playoff worthy, but a lot of times they just weren't.
Yeah.
I love what he brought to the table from a hustle standpoint. You already said one of my favorites, and that's Lindsey Hunter, man.
Oh, yeah, Lindsey
you
is
look
the
at
man.
the Pistons' top 10 playoff stats, he's all over that, man. All over it. When I think about some of these role players, though, what do you guys think about Cronwall?
That's actually exactly who I was about to say. That was the next person I was about to say. Because I was going to say that is exactly what this Red Wings team needs. So it would...
That's what my mind
the
was
pain.
At. When I was really in hockey, like at least on the tail end of it, it was like he was somebody I was like, yo,
Yeah.
everybody, keep your head on a swivel. Keep your head up, because if not, he's knocking your block off, man. And he was such an enforcer. He would frustrate other teams, and it was a weapon. It really was, for a lack of a better term. And I was like, you know what? I really, really, really rock with people like that. I see you in the chat, Mike G. He put Cronwall, Mehmet Okur. I'm seeing him in there. Is he a role player? Because he was just official to me, but I guess he would be a role player.
Yeah, first center off the bench. He would be considered a role player, but he was damn good coming off the bench.
Hey, we should
and
have kept him.
Shout out to Brandon Hasso in the chat. John Barry, bro. I totally John Barry is one of those great whites, man. You got to call him. He's one of those great whites, man.
He's a good white.
He was here right before we got into that championship phase, but man, he used to put on each and every night for the Pistons,
Hey,
bro.
well, you know what, man? I'm gonna make sure we go get Kavasi Chase, JB Smooth, and we talk a little Aiden Hutchinson. But chat family, get some of your favorites in, even if you've already put them in throughout the chat. If we haven't called on yours, just throughout the chat, continue to put some of your favorite Detroit sports role players in the chat, and if they've had some moments that stick out. Definitely do that. Nate Burleson is a big one, though, man.
Oh, love Nate.
Love Nate.
The Lion Blood clothing line, man. I had a couple shirts, man. And I just, those years, bro, he just deserves so much better, bro. He's playing alongside Calvin. That team had so much promise, they just couldn't get it done. But
Kavasi Chase. I see you busy in the chat, man. Tell me some of your favorite Detroit sports role players.
I was kind of just naming off like some people I could think of. From the Red Wings, I was thinking of like Valtteri Filppula, who's a second-line center in 08.
Yeah.
The
Huge part of their cup run.
Tigers. Yeah, the Tigers. First one I thought of was Ryan Rayburn. The Pistons, I thought of Jason Maxiell.
oh, Jesus. How do you like Jason Maxiell?
And then that short stint David Akers had in Detroit as the field goal kicker.
Yeah.
So
I have one for you guys. Jan put it in the chat, so you already know who it is. Darren McCarty.
Oh, of course. Shout out D-Max.
Shout out to D-Mac, man. Shout out to D-Mac.
Who's your favorite role player on the Lions currently?
I was going to say probably Malcolm Rodriguez.
Rodrigo's a great
he was
one.
injured, but like Rodrigo to me was just like, I really like what he's doing this year. Definitely.
It's tough, man. I would say, I have a
Good
couple,
question.
but I would say Amik Robertson. Amik Robertson has come in and just absolutely solidified that slot corner position.
little bully.
He's a dog, bro.
Yeah.
He is, man. And if he was like maybe 4 to 5 inches taller, he'd probably be one of the best corners in the league, just being real. But for what he's done with this Lions team, he's come in and done a damn good job. So shout out to him.
Players said, I'm seeing it, the name, Dante151, Tim Patrick.
Or him Patrick, as a lot of people have been calling him lately, man. Shout out Tim Patrick for
Hey,
sure.
that's a great question.
My new one is Jamal Adams.
Hey, I
It's
like
because
that.
he's on that little deal. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But I just love. He's so funny the way he runs around. Like he actually genuinely like makes me laugh. Like he's so effective when he rushes the quarterback. But he runs. He's got that little like shoulder up like
Yeah, you do.
type of run.
High
I
pads.
don't know. It's so funny though. I love it.
Hey, JB Smooth, give me one of your favorites that used to play here, and give me one of those current, man. Shout out to Justin, that dude Justin for that.
Oh,
one.
Pascal as well.
Oh, yeah, shout out.
Pascal, yeah.
Yeah, so who was some of your favorite role players, brother?
There's just one that keeps coming to mind because you guys have already said like a ton of them, especially everyone in the chat as well too. But Corus Williamson, that's the one that just keeps popping up in my head over and over again. Just like I wish he had a longer run with the Pistons, but didn't really happen out that way. But hey, he's still one of the guys and definitely one of the unsung heroes right now that are definitely role players. It's got to be Tim Patrick. It's got to be Hemi Patrick.
Hemi Patrick. Shout out to Randall Smalls. Corey Schlesinger. Reference.
Throwback.
I like it.
Another great white.
Hey, you know what? Vincent E. John Kittner.
Oh, yeah.
Hoof-hearted said Ben Wallace would be Sam's answer. Hey, I get it. Greg Peoples, Dan Skipper, man, there's some good ones. Players, O'Connor is a baller. As it relates to some of the current, I'm seeing Maltby, Draper, McCarty from Stephen Baffy, Jamal Williams from Tuan Hutch as one of the previous ones.
Yeah.
There's some good ones here. I don't know why Sewell's on here. He's just a dog. Just period. He ain't no role player.
I don't think Joel Zumaya counts either.
No, man, that's sicko. I mean, he was good for a year. He threw his arm out, but after you heard about what, he's been in the news with lately, I'm off that. So, I'm off that.
Hey, well, you know what? I want to tee up the Aiden Hutchinson conversation. Take a quick break, and we'll get back, and we'll dive right back into it.
Sound good.
Hey, the chat family is on one right now. Continue, guys, to be active with that. Some of your favorite role players from Detroit sports history, as well as some of your current favorites as well. Hey, JB Smooth, who do we need to talk to?
Planet Fitness.
Planet
let's work it out.
Fitness. Hey, is that me?
Work it. Work it. Yeah, work it.
Planet Fitness.
Work it.
I don't got to read,
Hey,
but I don't even need to read, man. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential, man. This has been one of the best deals in the gym game for forever, man. I mean, I was a teenager and Planet Fitness was the place to go. So shout out Planet Fitness,
what was
man.
He doing there?
Come on, bro. You knew what I was doing there.
On The View.
Hey, you go to Planet Fitness, you gonna see some things.
I was a youth one day.
Yeah, you gonna see some things up in there. But shout out to Planet Fitness, man. They got everything you need, every piece of gym equipment you can imagine, man. The massage beds, the tanning salons. I don't frequent that, but it may be something for you. But everything they give you, all of that for $15 a month. Like I said, best deal in the gym game. It is Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Yo, here to tell y'all about Woodward in Maine, one of the best Lions shows out there, man. If you want Lions coverage early on game day, you got to tap in with legend Terry Foster and WUW Crew's own Matt Broder. Shout out to you. We miss you, Brody. But, hey, man, that is a great hour of just digging deep into the game. Pause. Digging deep into the game, getting all the stats and everything that you need, injury updates, you name it, they got it for you. And shout out to the New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame show. And y'all already know, man, the tone master himself, Neil Rule, is there with Sean Belegian. Shout out Sean Belegian. Every day, 10 a.m. to noon, live from Second Best Bar in Detroit. And they going to provide you with fantasy sitting starts, the inside scoop on your Detroit Lions, injury updates. You name it, they going to break the game down. But pretty much they going to tell you, hey, the Lions going to dominate. We all know what the deal is at this point. But shout out to the New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame show in Woodward and Maine.
Whoa. Why is it going to be the Bills? Hey, welcome back in this Wake Up Woodward. Appreciate you guys for kicking off today with the WUW Crew. Go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't gotten the opportunity to. You know what? You up here on the desk, man.
Oh, God. Knew this was coming.
JB, so we got to satisfy that like button, man. You got to hit it right. Treat it nice. You guys
Real
already
nice.
know, man. Hit that like
Real
button.
nice
You
and
got-
real
There we go.
smooth. Hey, listen, I know you slipping and sliding on that snow this morning, but I got something else you can slip and slide into, man. You just go ahead and slip and slide that finger on that like button, man, and just go ahead and caress it real nice. Keep it warm. You know it's cold outside, baby.
Hey, you know what? Go ahead and hit that like button. Hey, you know what? I'm seeing so many people still getting in their role
Yeah,
players.
they
I'm
going
seeing
crazy.
David Sloan from A-Diz. And you know what? Floyd Natural. He said, who was that big, tall, white tight end we had that had crazy touchdowns one season? I can't think of his name.
Joseph Fourier?
Joseph
Yeah,
Fourier.
Joe Fourier.
That man, the touchdowns and the dances, and then the I tripped over my dog, and we never heard from him again.
Yeah.
Another
But-
good white out there.
That one season was
Right,
dope.
just good. Just
John F. and Lord, Don Kelly, and Jake Rogers.
Oh, Rake
Donnie
Rogers, man.
Kelly, they can't stop Don Kelly.
They can't. Nor can they stop Rake Rogers, man. If Sam was here, he'd have a conniption. So shout out to you, Sam.
Hey, you know what? Let me see if there's some more here.
Oh, I seen another one. I think it was Randall Small said Anquan Bolden, man.
Anquan.
Anquan Bolden as a
I
Lion
remember
was
that one.
great, bro. It
Marvin
was great.
Jones. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Marvin Jones.
I mean, what you-
was he a role player?
Because technically he was your number one receiver
I
for a
was
certain
saying,
period.
He
So
was good.
yeah. Should he have been your number one? Probably not. But for a time he was holding down that number one spot. So.
Kyle Vanden Bosch, and that one is from Steve Lehman.
Oh, I remember Kyle Vanden Bosch.
Would you consider Adrian Peterson a role player?
Oh, when he got here, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one. That's a good one.
Even him as a Lion was solid, man, for the little time we had him.
Bro, we could talk about Detroit sports all day, and you know what? We will. Next,
Man,
we
that
got to
was a
talk
different
Aiden
era.
Hutchinson. Continue to get those questions in Greg Alspaw, Dennis Rodman. Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that one. But you know what? We got to talk about Aiden Hutchinson because, you know, the news is, or the reports are, that he could potentially be back if the Detroit Lions make it to the Super Bowl. And then, based on the progress that's being made, there's some reports that he could be back if the Lions make it to the NFC Championship game. And the big question now that people have is, you know, some people, they see us cover this stuff and they say, you know what, you guys are trying to rush him back. Y'all want him back. It's not necessarily that. It's just these are the reports that are coming out and we have to talk about it. In a perfect world, of course, we want our dog out there, our ace one, our realistically start off the season as the best player on the squad. Yeah. But long term, and for what we think the squad can do right now, you know what? I'll read what Travis had to say. Shout out to Travis,
Big
one
shout
of
out.
our social team members, our manager of the squad right now, man. He's been doing a lot of good, man. Proud of guys like him, Cavassier Chase, that dude Justin, Easy, and others on the squad for holding it down too, man. It's awesome. But he says, unpopular opinion, I don't want to see Aiden Hutchinson back at all this season, whether he's ready, put that in quotes, or not. Let him get his mental right. Let him get that leg 100%. That injury was devastating. And this is where it gets difficult, though. If it's for a Super Bowl, do you leave it all on the field, or do you think about the long-term aspect of your career? Because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about for a Super Bowl. We're not saying, okay, rush back and get back for like the last few games of the season, and we know you're not right. This is, hey, look, you have all to put on the line. If you could play one game ever in your life,
I feel you.
it would be the Super Bowl.
Especially for the Lions.
For the Lions. And it's
I
his
get that.
hometown. So that's where it gets a little bit more difficult to you know, I get where he's at. And logically, yes. If you're talking about building for longevity, I look at this defensive line and I believe that this defense right now, even without Aiden Hutchinson right now, is still better constructed than the one last season.
Without a doubt.
So they do have, in my opinion, enough defense to win a Super Bowl. But if you're Aiden Hutchinson, how would you sit that one out? Like, where do you sit with this one?
I totally agree with Trav. And before I get killed, I said this on E&E earlier in the week, and people was going at me like, "Oh, it's a Super Bowl. What do you mean? If we get to the Super Bowl, like, we got to use them." And I do understand that, and I just want to state for the record that whatever the Lions decide to do, I fully trust. If they decide that, hey, you know, the doctor done cleared him, we feel like he's ready to compete, he's in enough shape to be able to help us during this playoff run, then have at it. Because ultimately, if something were to go wrong, or you know, it's going to be on the Lions at the end of the day. So, but I trust what they've done. They're not an organization that seems to rush players back from injury. Right. Just, you know, we've seen that over the past couple seasons. They will take their time,
and they are going to get other players back to be able to supplement this defense.
Exactly. But when you look at the type of injury that Hutch had, I mean, the man literally snapped his leg in two, and it's amazing that he's been able to recover so fast, man. I remember we had Doc Pierce up here. He said it was a 6-month injury, and we can have him back in 4 months. Now, that's fine, But you start talking about, okay, you want to have him for the NFC Championship game. Now you're ramping him up a little bit quicker than that 4-month window, because we have to consider, okay, he needs to at least be in some kind of football shape before you just stick him out there. I don't care if he's playing spot duty. I don't care if he's not going to see a lot of snaps. You're talking playoff football. That's a whole different animal from just the regular season. So they would have to start early in terms of getting him back and getting him ready to be able to even play like 20% of the snaps.
He has been doing water training. He has been running on the treadmill for the last, I think it was like 3 weeks or so. And so they're saying that he's actually far ahead of schedule right now. And that's something that Dr. Pierce did state, in that technically he would be ready by then. He said that the component of it that would be missing is more the psychological aspects of it too. But they said, like, he has a metal rod in his leg now. Yeah. Similar like with Cade Cunningham, the surgery Cade got, this was to end all of those shin issues he was having forever, because he had those since he was a kid. But this isn't like Alex Anzalone. I would be more shocked and more scared if I did see Aiden Hutchinson come back, because of the type of injury he had and the type of player he has, than with Aiden Hutchinson, who we've seen these players successfully play with their arms casted up.
No, absolutely.
They can still do that and have all the power they need to push because they got their legs.
Right.
Aiden Hutchinson is a violent, brute player who we see the type of power he puts forth from the leg. Yeah. That's where it does get a little bit concerning for me, because how often do we see these guys get pushed back?
Yeah, no,
How
absolutely.
often do we see at the end of a pile those types of things happen? And that's where it's just like, man, for me, I would rather him be okay. Just like you said, man. Take the time, get right. I love the vibe of the chat. The vibe of the chat is like, hey, bro, look, we got multiple Super Bowls to dominate. We have multiple Super Bowl appearances to chase after. For me personally, it's like, as a Lions fan, having never even thought I would even have a lifetime where I would be able to say this is a Super Bowl caliber team, I'm just like, man, though, for just one game,
I get it.
I could definitely see it.
It would be different if this pass rush was struggling without Aiden Hutchinson. We are literally undefeated since Aiden Hutchinson went down with that injury. And while it hasn't been perfect, while we haven't got home as much as you would like them to get home, that pass rush has created problems for a lot of quarterbacks. Yeah. So I think that, the role players that you have now have gotten better. All the backups and people that you were counting on to come in from the outside, they've come in and helped. AG is having a season in terms of the way he's scheming the defense up. Your secondary is a lot better, so that helps your pass rush ultimately. I don't think we need to rush it, because I think the mental aspect is what's being slept on in this whole thing. That's a lot to put on Aiden Hutchinson in one season.
He's putting it on himself.
Like, he would have been out of football for 3 to 4 months at that point. Now you're in the middle of a playoff push. He's going to be pressing. He's going to want to make an impact. And especially if you drop him in the Super Bowl where everything is on the line in that one game, I just feel like that's a lot for him to take in, and especially for somebody that needs to learn how to be okay with planting that leg again, with driving and having that same motor that he used to have before the injury. So that's my main concern. Our window is open. It's going to be open for a while, as long as you have Brad Holmes making smart decisions and Dan Campbell coaching them up. We'll be fine. Let Aiden rest. Get him a full offseason to get healthy. He'll be here training camp day one.
Yeah, and I do see some things here, though. Joshua McKenzie, you can't guarantee a Super Bowl. If we make it and he is cleared, you have to play. Stick Radio, shout out to Stick. He says you play him, if nothing else, to make sure the other team must scheme for him. And that's stuff we've talked about even with the Zadarius Smith. I believe this, at the very least, the Detroit Lions, if they make the Super Bowl, are going to have, and we talked about them being able to make fuel out of thin air. If they're taking the bulletin board material from people like McKinney and people like Murphy from the Vikings and such, think about what they do, because this is what we do know is going to happen. Whether he plays or not, Aiden Hutchinson's going to run out of that tunnel. Aiden Hutchinson's going to be on the field in his jersey. Absolutely. For the first time, that we're going to see that, and his players are going to see that. Aiden Hutchinson's going to probably be leading the pregame hype. Like, those are the things that's going to happen. So I do know that. I do know at the very least we get that. And if he is in uniform, if they clear him, and we've seen the Lions do that, clear a player but not play him, that other team has to scheme for that. They have to account for it nonetheless, even if he never touches the field. Obviously, if he has the ability to touch the field, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. But with Zadarius Smith, the one thing we saw was the Lions say, we care more about your long-term ability. And I get it. That was with the regular season game and not a Super Bowl. but they did show that they cared more about his health and more about what's going on in his personal to be able to say, you know what, you take a bye week even though we actually have a game this week.
Yeah.
And Zadarius was open about that. So that, it's going to be interesting to see what the organization does ultimately if he gets that clearance, because Aiden Hutchinson is working to get back.
No,
That's what
is.
he's putting out there. What up, though, brother?
I think it's such a different case because of the fact that it is Aiden Hutchinson. Like, it's that this is not a normal NFL player. You see it with his mentality, the way that he grows, the way that he works. And I truly believe, like you said, that the Lions will not put him out there if he is not ready. Like, they will test everything that they need to test to make sure that Aiden Hutchinson is ready. The thing is, the impact that he can make on just purely third down, on spot duty, playing 15 to 20 snaps in the Super Bowl. That is a sack. That is at least a sack. You are producing a sack by playing him, and that is a sack that could win or lose you the game. And I don't want to be that guy that risks Hutch's injury, but he won't be out there unless he is 100% able to be out there. And if he is out there, there's no doubt in my mind that he will be able to be effective, and he will be critical to us winning. Because think about who will be on the other sideline if we're in the Super Bowl. We'll either have the Chiefs on the other sideline, the Bills on the other sideline, elite quarterbacks.
Yeah.
How do you beat elite quarterbacks? You have to be able to have a consistent pass rush. And this D-line has done an amazing job. But you know who beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? It was the Bucs, with one of the best pass rushes I've ever seen.
You're right.
Yeah.
Even though they didn't have their offensive tackles, that pass rush still produced a absurd amount of pressure. And that's what you need to do to those elite style quarterbacks. And that's why I think if Hutch is healthy, he has to be out there, or at least out there just to be a decoy so that they have to scheme against him.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I just want to get the chat, their comments in here too, because there's a lot of them, and it's polarizing. Floyd says, again, even just on the sideline for the Super Bowl, Hutch would be a huge, huge asset. Honolulu BS says, I say hold him out because that gives the team motivation to go get a second one for Hutch. Greg Allspot, let's not end Hutchinson's career too soon. There's some people that agree with the sentiment of what's worried about his mental, and that's the aspect of it that Dr. Pierce did state. He said even though he can be physiologically ready, he said the mental aspect of it is a different component of it. Steve Baffy, he says Aiden is different. DNCENT. There is no way the best player in the league is cleared to play in the only game that matters his whole life, and you're holding him out of that. And obviously he put 3 back-to-back dead emojis, the little skull. So, that's what I'm saying. It's polarizing, man. Yeah. It's polarizing. I know Terrell Lamar, he's been one of those guys that's like, you know what? I believe let him sit. He believes that Hutch is the future. Big Con 51, just to read a couple more. If you sit Aiden in the Detroit Lions' first ever Super Bowl, and the doctors say he is ready, you can forget a contract extension.
But and I get that, and of course we're speaking just from our own personal perspectives. Like I said, whatever the Lions decide, I will trust that. I will ride with that, 100. And we just gotta hope and pray for the best if he were to be in that situation. But you got to think, man, if we even get to the Super Bowl, because I almost feel like, a lot of fans at this point in the season, just considering where their team is at, we automatically just put the Lions in the Super Bowl. They still have to get there. They still have to earn that. But if they can get to a Super Bowl without Hutch, then that should tell you that the team is good enough to play without him. Now, would I want him out there? Of course I want him out there. If you're Hutch, of course you want to be out there. But as a GM of a franchise, I have to think about the future. And the future is we finally have another bookend edge rusher to Aiden Hutchinson next season. That's going to take a lot of pressure off him being the numero uno. He's not going to experience as many double and triple teams as he experienced when he was here, and he was just the sole guy. So you're looking at, next year, he's coming into next year without a lot of pressure on his back. I would much rather just let him rest up and get fully engaged physically and mentally, and then we rock from there. But ultimately, it's the Lions' decision, and I trust whatever they do.
But KG, I think you said it well as well too. But adding another caveat to this, and shout out to Randall Smalls for putting this in the chat as well too. How do you think Hutch feels right now? I know as an athlete, you want to go out there, you want to compete, you want to ride with your team, you want to play in the Super Bowl, the biggest game of your career. But also, you have to think about yourself as well too. Do you feel comfortable and ready to return to the field? Are you ready to do all this activity that you have to do out there to get your team a win. If you don't think you're ready for that, then maybe you should just sit this one out as well too. There's nothing wrong with being a sideline, I don't want to say cheerleader, but supporter of your team as well too. But at the same time, you got to think about yourself and your career. If you see that, hey, if I go out there, I could somewhat, re-injure myself, or I don't feel 100%, just wait it out till next season. And there's no one's going to call you out for that as well, too.
Once again, this is a 6-month injury, and you're asking him to come back in 4. And then if he actually hits the field, maybe 3.5. So I'm just saying.
And Steve-O Baby says, thank you, KG. Lions fans think that it's okay to put someone out there in a hurry when there's no need to. I don't think Lions fans are saying that. The component here is that when you have Aiden Hutchinson in his camp saying this and working to do it, and then you have medical doctors on our network and other networks stating it can be done, and he's actually ahead of schedule. That's the component of it that people are wrestling with, because we are reacting to news. Most of us say we want him to be safe long term. I think everybody here said that. I think Justin, he sees the value in maybe utilizing him in a reduced role, but nobody's saying, hey, let's just rush him back. But when you do have to deal with the fact that he's going to have a say-so, the doctors are saying he's ahead of schedule, and he has the opportunity to be out there, and we're talking about the biggest game in Detroit sports history.
I hear you, yes.
That's where it becomes a conversation. So it's not – I know that there are some fans I've seen, and I expect the vocal minority, the trollish people to be like, just throw him out there, it doesn't matter, blood sport. No, we can't do that. This is one of our homegrown. This is one of our guys. And the Lions organization is getting a reputation of taking good care of their players. And that's why I said, looking at the example was Zadarius Smith, I would assume, and it's what inspired, my comments of, I believe, if anything, let him run out that tunnel in his uniform, let him lead the pregame hype, let him bring as much motivation and fire to the table that he can. And if it just so happens to come down to, we need the defensive line to get one stop, and you think he's ready, maybe. But even then, I'm still like, let's hold this guy and just let him get ready for the future.
I hear you. And absolutely, I do agree with that. But I'm glad you brought up Zadarius Smith, because when we traded for Zadarius Smith, everybody wanted him to play that first game back. But everybody did. But path. They waited it out. But there are other ways you can help your team besides being on the field. And I just want fans to kind of realize that. Just having Aiden back on that sideline, in that huddle, being able to tell the defensive players what he sees out there. There are other ways he can help this team besides being on the field. Of course, we want him out there, but I'm just saying, be mindful. There are other ways that he can help.
100%. It's polarizing, brother. It is. What up, Doc Cavassi, Chase?
What up? I mean, I'm not a doctor of osteopathy. I don't know anything about bone health. I'm just gonna listen to what the doctors say. From what I have learned, it takes roughly 6 months for a bone to fully heal, plus. So, and then you have to deal with, the atrophy that Dr. Pierce was talking about the other day, the muscles and everything around there. So, we'll see. I think he's still really young, and there's still a lot of football left to be played, beyond this year. The NFL is not going anywhere. So, and this team is built for the long term. So, all of our most important pieces are locked up and going to be here for the next 4 to 5 years at least.
Mm-hmm.
So no need to rush. Hopefully whenever he does come back, he's just as effective and continues to grow on the same level and path that he was before he got hurt. He had that 4-sack game against the Bucs. That was our one loss of the season. It's crazy to think that his best performance of his career is our one loss on the season. So.
And we're living in a medical renaissance right now, and I think that is a truly important factor into this decision, because you're seeing players come back way quicker and way more effective than they normally would. Yep. And you even have examples on this Lions staff. The Lions have a history of drafting people with ACL injuries, Achilles injuries, and they have been able to find a way to have that be not an issue going forward, where leg injuries tend to pop up again when you have those injuries. And Breece Hall, for example, last year tore his ACL, came back in 8 months. That was usually a 1.5 year injury. That is, and Aaron Rodgers, another example. There's the way that modern medicine has truly changed the game and how the injury times work. Really, just if he's ready, the Lions aren't gonna they're going to make the right decision. We've seen it time and time again. We all trust Brad Holmes. We all trust the medical staff. We all trust Dan Campbell. If Aiden Hutchinson is out there, he's ready. And that's where I'm going to sit with it. If he's out there, he's ready.
He is ready. And ultimately, we'll wrap this one up here before we get into the next segment and we get into the Lions' different units against the Bills. Okay. But Dante151 $4.99 super chat. Hell, we can all just agree that Aiden Hutchinson is freaking insane for being able to come back this far from a freaking leg injury.
No, absolutely.
It's unheard of.
It's the mentality.
Absolutely. That's the mentality. He's going to work like it. So that's why we're going to hear these rumors as we get closer and closer, because everyone's going to be looking and they're going to be like, yo, Aiden Hutchinson is a beast. He looks ready to go. You had something?
Yeah, I just wanted to like kind of add to what Justin was just talking about with like the ACL and stuff like that. It's a completely different injury.
Yeah,
you
that's
can
true.
like you can go back and watch the Olympics where like people compete in like track events. They tear their ACL in the middle of the race and they still go out and like finish the event or finish the race. You're not doing that on a broken leg.
No.
Like,
My dad popped his
completely
ACL.
different issue.
It saw him pop his ACL. I even saw it because he was hooping until he was over his 50s. He popped his Achilles. But I also saw a friend that broke their leg. Way different pain. You're not like the recovery, the rehab, everything.
Bones are different. Way different.
My pops, as an old man, was playing in the next church league season in the same calendar year.
Wow.
That was then. Not even with how medicine is getting people back quickly today. Now, he went to UWM Health, and they took care of him. Shout out to them. But these two right here, I think is exactly how I kind of feel. Floyd says, letting Z sit out like that even further reinforce the confidence Dan has in his guys.
There you go.
And reinforce how we treat our guys. That's what I said it's going to be interesting to see how the organization treats this. Yeah. And then Jordan Lionheart. Zadarius made a difference in that first game by coaching the D-line. We saw him talking to them, and they instantly got better the next drive. And that's why I said, dress them up. Let him run out the tunnel.
Absolutely.
Let him be a part of the team. Let him inspire. Let him coach up, because he's still the captain. He's still that deal. Everybody knows that. Just him coming back from that, like Dante151 says, that should inspire and motivate everybody. And more so than anything, it's not just trusting what decision they'll make with Aiden Hutchinson, but more or less the fact that this coaching staff has still found a way, and these players, to step up and meet the challenge. And I think that is very important, that this squad can go out there and say, you know what, Hutch? Rest up, big dog. Rest up, homie, because we got a lot more of these to do. I don't want to be one of those squads that's like San Francisco 49ers. You get so close, you don't punch it in. I'm glad that we can allow our guy to go and sit, because Christian McCaffrey, man, for a couple years in a row, where it's like, maybe you guys should just let him chill, especially with your ambitions. Yep. But I look at the 49ers right now and how they've kind of handled that. I don't have hope for their future.
Yeah.
And part of it has to do with probably because of how hard they've tried to chase winning that Super Bowl.
And rushing people back.
Some people said that maybe C-Mac needs to be out. And that's what I'm saying. So with Aiden, I see the logic in it, and that's why I was like, I think it's worth the conversation, because it is for a Super Bowl. But that's why I'm just like, you know what? If we go with what Brad and Cole said and tell me what we haven't been able to believe them, this ain't going to be the only one.
No, that's a fact. And I wouldn't have put A-Rod in that conversation. You're smoking that fucking peyote and shit, that ayahuasca. Yeah. Didn't really work. That man still hurt out there.
I'll give you a better example, though.
That man still hurt.
Background research. Shout out DNC&T for the leading me in the right direction. But Isaiah Pacheco, fractured his fibula. A similar injury to Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson was far worse.
A fracture and a break are different.
And it says that Hutch only fractured his tibia and his fibula. It didn't say he actually broke it. So it's kind of a similar injury, but 7 weeks for Pacheco.
Okay.
Only 7 weeks, and he's playing completely.
Yeah.
It took him 1 week of 50-50 ball with Kareem Hunt to get back into his normal workload. It's possible. It's possible to have the mentality to get back from one of these injuries, to be back for the playoffs, to be a contributor. It's going to depend on how lucky Aiden Hutchinson is and how modern medicine has truly become this extravagant short-term injuries. I don't even know how to describe it.
No, that's real.
This is going to be interesting, because like I said, I'm seeing it here. I thought maybe it's just online. I love when we have these conversations and we get to see how the chat family is feeling about this stuff as well. And it is very, very polarizing. Yeah. And I think ultimately the best thing to do, which all of us feel, no matter where we sit on the spectrum, is we do trust Brad and we do trust Dan. That I 100% know. So, and I do know this, they take care of their players. We see it with the contracts. We see it with how they're bringing in new players. We hear what the players hear, how they talk about, no matter what Equanimous St. Brown does to hate on us now, we all know that
He's learned his lesson.
He wanted to come here, though.
Absolutely,
and it just
he did.
didn't work out. We all know what the deal is. So let's get into this next segment because we got to talk about the Detroit Lions. Obviously, the offensive line used to be that one push button. That is your most elite unit. But we got the Bills on the way. I want to ask you guys, which unit do you believe is the most elite? Which one do you believe needs to step up?
Okay.
So, hey, you know what? Who we got to talk to?
Sabbath Coffee.
Fuel your Lions fan with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee. Deliver right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com and choose your favorite roast. And then Woodward Sports has you covered as well. Use code Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awaken and wine. Support local and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry! Offer ends December 20th.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. It's open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, enjoy a $20 haircut special, a scalp massage, hot lather neck shave,
Watch
and a
yourself.
hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Shout out to Freddie Feldman, man. I'm gonna respond to. He sent me something leather via text
Oh,
message.
word.
He did. Shout out to Freddie Feldman.
Okay.
It's something actually pretty cool.
Pause.
But hey, take advantage of our $20 haircut special. You gotta do.
Freddie sent in leather. What is y'all doing in that text message?
It's actually pretty cool.
Okay.
We'll talk about it maybe Friday.
Yeah, you need to explain that to me.
Hey, tap in Friday. I'll let you guys understand what the deal is with this leather and Freddie Felt chat member, man.
Come on, Freddie.
Hey, listen, scan that QR code. When you find it, you'll get that haircut special coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Me, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. It's wicked awesome.
Freaky ass.
Of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan the QR code on the screen. Use code word Woodward 1000. You can deposit up to $1,000, and all you have to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet. And if it doesn't hit, you know what? They will throw it right back into your account with no questions asked. It's the official sports book of us here at Woodward Sports. It's Caesar Sportsbook. Make some money tonight.
You saw the chat.
I love y'all chat family, man. Y'all the hard one, man. Watch on Eduardo O'Neal. And it's cool, man, like seeing these names. We got to do some events, man, where we can get more and more people together.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you guys can, make it out to Hayes Socials. I'm serious, man.
Big
Make it out
facts.
to the pregame show. But Hayes Social, it's just the hangout spot. Woodward Sports people are there. Stick is in the building. KG in the building. For a couple months, we're going to have, well, Justin always makes it down, man. There may be like a couple weeks that he couldn't make it down, but we want to be able to have as much, camaraderie with the chat family as possible. Thank you guys for supporting us this morning. If you haven't gotten the opportunity to, go ahead and smash that like button.
Only that 1 week I hurt my knee.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
My boy
that's
played
true.
through injury.
On the
He don't
ice,
care.
man. On the ice. And he hit me up too, like, man, I was trying to make it with my knee. I'm like, bro, chill. You work hard, man. You got school. Continue to crush, man. Continue to crush. And also that question of the day, who are some of your favorite role players in Detroit sports history? And that dude Justin also added another one. So you guys can play in both of these games here. Hopefully you choose to do both. Who's your favorite role player in Detroit sports right now? And I know you said Lions, but we'll say Detroit sports right now as well. Malik Beasley, he's definitely one of those
making
guys
a case.
He's making a case for one of those kind of right now. And Malcolm Rodriguez was my Lions one. Who was your Lions one?
I said Amik Robertson.
Amik Robertson.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? I know that if we go back to last year and we're talking about this offensive line, there were guys that we could say, you know what, they're definite role players as well as the stars on the bookend of that line with Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker. This year, I don't know if they've been the head and shoulders best unit on the team. And I wonder how that's going to fare against the Buffalo Bills. And so I wanted to be able to ask you, just as we continue to assess the season, and things have changed so much with the Detroit Lions due to injuries and whatnot, just which one of the units do you believe is playing the best? And I saw special teams getting some love in the chat because they literally won us a game this year, which is absolutely wild. And which one do you believe, though, needs to step it up?
Man, this is so tough because I feel like all the units on this team have played extremely well considering the circumstances.
First world problems, right?
Yeah. Oh,
we're talking about Super Bowl and playoff type stuff right now.
No, of course, man. But what has been the one constant on this team throughout the season?
The one constant? Aaron Glenn.
Well, yeah, but think more offensive side of the ball.
The running backs.
Well, close.
Jared Goff.
The people that do the work for the running backs.
Oh, the offensive line.
Of course.
But Taylor Decker has missed a couple games, which we've seen the offensive line look a little bit more human.
No, that's true. But guess what? Dan Skipper stepped the hell up last week. And this offensive line continued to do what this offensive line does. I keep saying it. As long as you have that offensive line, you can pretty much do anything. You want to know why the Lions run the ball so much on third down? It's because you have trust in your offensive line that they can create a push and they can get you in either a first down or a fourth and manageable. As you know, the big topic of conversation is, why does Dan Campbell go for it so much? Well, when you have an offensive line like that, I can do whatever the hell I want to do. So I think this offense, of course, is definitely the most elite unit. And I hate to ask the defense to step up even more because they have stepped up. Just being real with you, they have showed out this season.
Is there a level when you look at the team, because we got to pick one, is there one level, whether it be, you got your secondaries, your safeties, your cornerbacks, your linebackers, you got your defensive line, and then on the offensive side, is there anybody or any one of those units that we need a little bit more out of?
I think
we're talking about the Bills game now.
No, that's true. I guess you would say the defensive line in that case, because getting Josh Allen to the ground is going to be paramount. This is somebody that hasn't been sacked in 3 games now. So, and he's somebody that could, yes, he hasn't been sacked in 3 games.
Okay, all right. And I don't mean to cut you, because it's about, that's what the conversation is about.
Yeah.
As it relates to the Bills game. 3 games. What is their offensive line doing so well? And now I understand why you're saying the Lions' defensive line is probably the one that you want to see go out there and play lights out. Because 3 games in a row, not getting him on the ground. No, you got to have this guy under a different level of duress.
Well, no, it's definitely tough because they do give him time to, go through his progressions and see what's downfield. But the big thing is the dual threat version of Josh Allen. It's his legs. He can get out of the pocket. He can create plays. Off script. So that's the biggest thing that the Lions have to worry about in this game is the rushing aspect of Josh Allen. I've always said, throughout the season that, we face running quarterbacks, but we have yet to face a quarterback that throws as good as or runs as good as he throws. And we finally have that in Josh Allen. This is somebody that can kill you and put up 100 yards on the ground damn near and still kill you for 300 yards. So getting him to the ground is going to be paramount. And even if you don't get him to the ground a lot, you have to be in his face. It has to kind of look like the Packers game did. Although they sacked Jordan Love one time in that game, he was uncomfortable the whole game, and you could see it. Like he wasn't able to really get through his reads. Some of the passes he was throwing up there, he was sailing passes, he was rushing throws. That's what you need to see, because Josh Allen is somebody that went off script. He's almost better than what he is in the pocket and actually just going through his progressions normally. So if the Lions defensive line can step up once again, and I hate saying that because they have done a damn good job so far this season, and in the face of injury, going out there and providing a serviceable pass rush against a multitude of quarterbacks. But if you can get a little bit more from them, you're getting a lot of players back. You're going to get Levi O back, it looks like. You're going to get DJ Reader back, it looks like. You're going to get Pascal back, it looks like.
Yep.
So that is big, huge help coming to help you. So I just feel like if you can get a little bit more out of them, your secondary, you have a full complement of your secondary. They have been playing lights out. The less time he has to throw, the better your coverage can be. And I just feel like that's the key to winning this game.
And as it relates to this defensive line, with some numbers there, as it relates to the last 3 games, it's 7, 10, and 6. Do you know what that refers to?
7, 10, and 6
the
is
last
that
3 games is a stat as it relates to the defensive line.
Is
7,
it
10, and 6. Do you guys
QB
know?
hits?
QB hits.
Ooh.
It's what I've been talking about since the offseason. Listen, we took a step forward last year as it relates to pressures and being one of those squads that we knew we were going to have you under duress from that standpoint. But you remember, KG, as we sat and we watched even Michigan play, and we talked about what this defense does well, sometimes there were quarterbacks that could dice them up, and some people believed that Penix was going to have an opportunity to do so. People thought that Milroe was going to have an opportunity to do so.
That's a fact.
But we sat here and we talked about the fact that this defense, they're punishing quarterbacks to the point that everything they like to do by the end of the game, Penix looked like he was seeing ghosts, bro, and he was dragging his leg off the field at the end of the game. What does this Lions defense do? This year, what I think they're doing much better than last year is they're making sure to punish the quarterback. Those quarterback hits are things that every week, no matter what the sack totals are, they're getting 5 quarterback hits. And in comparison, I'm looking at the other teams, like in those same games, they're getting like 3, 4 maybe, 2 quarterback hits on ours, which backs up when we have the discussion, the offensive line, maybe the rumors of his demise have been greatly over-exaggerated because the other squad is barely hitting Jared Goff.
Yeah.
He's getting the opportunity to scramble. He's getting the opportunity to run a little bit more than we're used to. He's getting the opportunity to literally run out of the pocket and throw it into the dirt. You know, and those things, aside from all of the successful plays, because when we talk about his incompletions, sometimes it's just those plays. It's not that he was off target. You know, I understand the offensive line has been doing, I think, a much better job than sometimes we sit back and give it credit for. And then from the defensive line standpoint, I want them to continue to keep those quarterback hits up. You're talking about Josh Allen. If he's not uncomfortable, I believe it's a long night for our defense.
Absolutely it is, man. Justin, what do you feel is the strongest unit, or the unit that needs to step up in terms of this Bills game?
I don't know about step up necessarily because they do it so often, but it is the offensive line. And for that, the reason is the Bills average 4.7 yards per carry against, which is if you give that to the Lions, they're going to beat you every time.
Yep.
And if you give the Lions that, you give Jared Goff time to throw. And since Von Miller has came back for the Bills, their pass rush has been much improved. So I want to be able to negate that by being able to run the ball. So I think Gibbs and Monty having a big game is going to be big. Their Bills also have a pretty below league average run defense. So I expect this to be a game where we just run and run and run. We bleed the clock. We try to keep the ball out of Josh Allen's hands. And I think that's how you beat him. You beat him by limiting possessions, scoring on your possessions, and being efficient. And that's exactly what I expect this Lions team to have on Sunday.
Yeah, and the one thing I am very confident is that the Lions have had the recipe for the mobile-type quarterbacks that can also throw the ball.
That's
true, there's been a couple times this year in games where they told us we were going to struggle a little bit with these guys. How can their defense this? We've known how they – last year we knew if it's a mobile quarterback – or if it's outdoors, the Lions were going to have a long day. That's what people told us. We saw them start to slay that narrative of outdoors because they won a couple of those games, especially the Chargers game.
Yeah.
A shootout, too. That was another narrative, right? We couldn't win in a shootout. But this year, you look at their defense as it relates to mobile quarterbacks, and that, to me, it really hasn't been that much of a question. True. Not that their quarterbacks haven't been able to a couple times break contain, but as it relates to what those quarterbacks and their impact against other teams, it was not the same impact against the Detroit Lions, and that's where I do believe Aaron Glenn has had the right schemes. We talk about Terrell Williams, we talk about Kelvin Shepard, I was about to say KG again. We talk about with these linebackers, no matter who's stepped into that place, what they've done. That's where Jamal Adams, I know that dude Justin, your current role player, that's where I can't wait to see how they utilize him in this defense, in their defensive game plan.
Yeah, and absolutely, you got to give credit to the defensive ends and the linebacking core as well in terms of limiting quarterbacks that can get out the pocket and hurt you. We've seen Jack Campbell improve, man, and he was already somebody that was great in the run game and that had excellent sideline to sideline speed, but he's been able to cover and kind of limit what quarterbacks can do outside of the pocket. You got to give ups to Josh Paschal. He's done a lot in terms of sealing off that edge and making sure that quarterbacks can't break contain. So I feel like this Lions defensive line has done a great job, and you got to give some credit to AG, to Terrell Williams, and Kelvin Shepard in terms of, what the linebackers have been able to do. But if they can consistently, at least limit, because you're not really going to stop Josh Allen in terms of when a play breaks down, but if you can limit him, because if you can keep him to maybe like 30 to 40 yards on the ground, I think that's a good day at the office, especially considering if you can limit him in the pass game as well with your secondary and how good we are in man coverage.
Those QB hits as well.
Absolutely.
You got to blow up the you know what? Don't let a running back pick you up on cover. Blow them up. You need all of these players that make the split-second decisions, because what a running back does, you want him to think, oh, crap, Jamal Adams is going to blow me up.
Absolutely.
I want you to just think. Even though I know you're going to stand there, we see what happens when we have the physical, aggressive advantage over another team, and we've been able to shut down other teams' running backs. Their yardage. Josh Jacobs, I know he got those 3 touchdowns, but did he even get over 70 yards on the ground?
No, I think he got 99.
He had 99 in
but
that game?
Yeah, it was probably on a lot of attempts.
I don't think he had 99 in that game.
Did he? I have to check.
I thought he had 60. I thought the Packers had 99 for the game.
Oh, you're right. That's what it was. They had 99 total rushing for the game. Yep.
But I definitely want to double check that, because I want to make sure that we got it right for the people. I got it up right here. Packers, he 18 carries, 66 yards, under 4 yards a carry.
So 99 for the game, and that's damn good.
They put them in, and that's what I'm saying. Like when I think about all of the different narratives, the Lions, even against the 49ers, I was told we were completely outmatched and outclassed. There was no way we were going to shut down Christian McCaffrey in the run game. Yeah, y'all had a cute season doing that all season, but it ain't going to happen here.
Yeah.
And that's where, when we talk about Josh Allen's ability to run, what got them kind of caught up in that championship game as it related to Brock Purdy using his legs more, I believe the Lions defense this year has been much better at keeping that contained.
No, absolutely. And it helps when you have a guy in the building like Hendon Hooker that you can have in practice to kind of simulate, what a running quarterback can do. So I feel like they've made a lot of strides in terms of coaching up, hey, you cannot let them beat you. Once they get to that second level, it's pretty much over, like if in terms of quarterbacks gaining yards. So I think they've really been progressive in trying to make sure quarterbacks don't get to that second level, and you got to give props to the coaching staff for that. Go ahead, Justin.
I completely agree with you. And speaking of it, how important it will be to keep Josh Allen off the field. There's a time of possession, and the Rams last week outpossessed the Bills by a absurd margin, 38 minutes to 21 minutes.
Wow.
And it really forced Josh Allen to go into hero mode, which is what you want.
Yeah.
When Josh Allen is in hero mode, he makes mistakes.
Yep.
He tries to force throws. He fumbles. That's where you need to force him. You need to force him into. You need to take the lead, and you need to hold the lead. You need to be a front runner. You need to be able to run the ball. You need to do everything that has made this team great and just play Lions football. If you play Lions football, we're at Ford Field too. If you play Lions football, we should win.
You know what?
Straight up.
I love that point, man, because it goes back to the Packers game. Jordan Love was 12 of 20, 206 yards, man, for the game. For the game. That is it. And a large part of it had to do with the Lions choosing to, we're not punting it to you.
Right.
We're going to go for it on fourth down. We're going to go for it on fourth down. We're going to go for it on fourth down. In time of possession, you know how that shook out? In the Lions' favor.
I know they dominated.
36 minutes and 6 seconds to 23 minutes and 54 seconds. When we talk about which team or which unit needs to absolutely show out, obviously all of them. And they have done well across the board.
Yeah.
But when we talk about the strategy where they can maybe gain an advantage, maybe it is the IQ of Jared Goff. Maybe this is one of those games where the MVP kind of aspect, we know the narrative that's going to ride on this game. But as long as Jared Goff is playing smart, as long as Jared Goff is confident in what they can do, because we think about that. Who pressed Dan Campbell to go for it on that last fourth down?
It was Jared Goff.
That's what I'm saying. So now he holds. We know this now. he holds all the cards. This isn't a situation like with Matthew Stafford. I remember when they brought in Joe Lombardi and they were like, they took away, certain play calling duties and opportunities away from Matthew Stafford and put the plays on his arm and all of that. It's like, what? No, Jared Goff is a guy who they're letting him call the plays at the line and dictate what's going on within the guidance of Ben Johnson. And to me, that's a great point by you, Justin, how they work to control the time of possession through the high IQ play of Jared Goff, what the offensive line does, and that running back duo is going to be masterful.
No, absolutely. And the Bills' defensive line, while they do have talent on that defensive line, they aren't like one of the better defensive lines in the league. So you can absolutely go in there and control the pace of the game, because that's why the Lions' offense is so good. It is time of possession. It's literally 8, 9, maybe 10 play drives getting down the field, but not just settling for field goals. It's punching it in for 7. And that's what makes the fourth down decisions so crucial, because these drives are already long as hell, and now we got to defend you for 4 downs on top of that. So I think that's a big key, and also executing in the red zone is going to be paramount in this game, because when the Lions execute in the red zone, they are damn near unbeatable. This is a team that is one of the better teams, maybe top of the league in terms of scoring in the red zone, scoring touchdowns in the red zone. So if you can put that kind of pressure on the Bills and they get down there and know this is 4 down territory and we don't know who the hell we might see. It could be LaPorta, it could be Gibbs, it could be Monty, it could be J-Mo, like it could be Jared Goff on an indoor. Like, you don't know. The variety of play calling that Ben Johnson can do in the red zone is like it's unbelievable. So I think as long as you execute in the red zone, and like Justin said, you control the clock, keep away from Josh Allen. That's the biggest key to success in this game.
I like that. I love that one. Even more so than trying to contain an all-star. Why don't we just use our own MVP caliber candidate and our own dynamic best running back duos and best running back room in the entire NFL? Why not utilize them? And that's where every time we come up against these games early on in the season, I was very, very confident, especially Dallas. I was like, we about to go there and work them.
Yeah.
I really felt that, and it's because when I just sit down and look at the paper of it all, we got a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
We really have. I'm not talking about like just good players. We have a lot of dogs who have proven themselves to be some of the best defensive players at their position and some of the best offensive players at their position.
Yep.
Think about this. In the backfield, right? In the offensive backfield, you got the best running backs in the league. And in the defensive backfield, as your safeties, you got the best safeties in the league.
That's a good problem to have.
That's a good problem, especially when you're going to play the Bills. What are we talking about? Forcing Josh Allen into mistakes.
Yeah,
I think Kirby
which
and
he's not impervious to.
And Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, they have a way to make even legendary quarterbacks make mistakes.
No, absolutely, and that is a key, because Josh Allen is somebody we know to be a gunslinger. He's of that Brett Favre mentality. He's going to take chances down the field, and the Lions secondary have to be ready for that. So, like you said, man, if the safeties can come with it and be able to, pretty much control the deep end of the field, because he's going to take shots. If you can control that part, then that's going to make the day even harder on Josh Allen, knowing that I can't get shit over the top, because this safety tandem, they're just everywhere, man. You can plug and play them, and they are literally all over the field.
Man, my one question, do we see trick bag Ben? We haven't seen Ben Johnson get into those trick plays too much. I wonder if this Bills game presents that opportunity for him. But
I think so.
Let's get into this next segment. Do we... Because it's almost time for what's trending. Do we save Would You Rather for tomorrow?
We can.
Let's save it for tomorrow.
I'm with it.
We got DJ High Def Steph in the building, and I know we got everyone's favorite segment on the way. This just blew by, because I know we're going to deep dive a little bit more into the Bills game tomorrow, but it's been great conversation today. Hey, JB Smooth, what friends do we have to say hello to?
We got Dr. Pierce and Salvation Army.
Hey, attention sports fans. Don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy and every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. You got to trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Why? Because Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. Hey, for more information, visit them online, michigansportsandspine.com, or you can call 248-426-9944.
And remember, when you give to the Salvation Army, your donation makes it possible to serve our community's most vulnerable. 24 hours a day, 365. The Salvation Army Metro Detroit's 2024 Red Kettle campaign is going on right now. And even though the goal is high, anything that you can give helps. Your contributions will help provide love beyond Christmas to individuals in need of food, shelter, and just compassion. Scan that QR code on screen or go to donate.sagreatlakes.org to donate today.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry! Offer ends December 20th.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
All right, Woodward sports fans, whether you're hitting the game or just chilling, Jars Cannabis has you covered. They're home to Michigan's largest lineup of recreational cannabis products. They've got 27 locations across the state of Michigan, and they are repping Detroit in the biggest way possible. 9 locations right now in Metro Detroit, so there's always one nearby you. And some good news, Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, and Milan, Michigan. Get ready because new stores are coming very, very soon. It's Jars Cannabis.
And listen, after you come down from that high and you realize, hey, I need a new car. How about you go to Les Stanford, bro? Les Stanford, Chevrolet,
like
Buick, and GMC. Are you overdue for a new car, man? Beat the holiday rush and get an amazing deal from Les Stanford Chevrolet. Right now, a Blazer EV, shout out Neil, 2 LT with all-wheel drive is only $149 per month. You know the snow coming, that all-wheel drive is crucial, bro. Or check out the Equinox LT, EV LT for only $169 per month. Get to Les Stanford today or click on the QR code on the screen and check out our massive inventory. Don't forget, Les Stanford has Cadillac, Buick, GMC as well. Les Stanford in Dearborn and Ferndale. LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive.
We back.
Hey.
Hey, this is one we're gonna have to do.
Oh, I love this beat too. This is one of my first favorites when you put it in there.
I love music like this, bro. And
Yeah,
so
bro.
when I get opportunity to mess around with stuff like this, I'm telling you, people think they're like, yo, is that a sample?
Nah, it's all original.
I got in on this.
Off the
I'm
top.
loving it, dog. Hey.
Nah, we got to make some music, man.
Hey, it's on the way. We're gonna definitely make it happen. Woodward Sports gives a cool platform and so much talent here, so much stuff that we want to do for this great state of Michigan, and obviously for Detroit, the flag that a lot of us all over the state wave, especially because of our sports teams that bring us together.
Yeah.
That's what's really awesome about seeing all 4 pro sports teams right there on Woodward Avenue, all a block away from each other, or right across the street in some instances, right across just kind of the way when you talk about Comerica and Ford Field. So it's awesome. Hey, Red Wings and Pistons, let's get into those playoffs, man. All 4 teams have a really good opportunity to get there, and it will be awesome to see. But I think it's time to spark up word to jars.
Ooh, let's do it.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
It's him, JB Smooth.
Let's rock, boy. Double bonus.
Hey, what's going on, chat family? What's up, fellas? I won't delay this anymore. Let's get into these videos. But I just got to ask hoopers, you guys, what is the worst thing you could see when you step into the gym?
That's a good question.
Tile floor. Instead of hardwood.
Somebody ball hogging, I don't know.
Nobody brought a basketball.
Right, double rims. I can't stand double rims.
A bunch of 6-footers.
Yeah.
No nets.
Just a bunch of people who are 6 foot for me. I'm short.
Those are all good guesses.
Hey,
but
one more too.
Oh, you got one more?
Yes. That old kind of white dude who runs kind of like this and will dot your motherfucking eye from everywhere on the court. And this is personal right now, but I went to the summit at Camp.
Yeah.
Out in Canton as a kid, man, like teenager, so I shouldn't have let it, but my goodness. They're like, stop sagging off here, man. You don't come up here much. I'm like, look at him.
Yeah.
They're like, look at you. And I was like, dang, they're right.
Right. Oh, my
Now,
God.
you know what? Those are all good guesses, but they are not this.
Oh. Don't tell me it's the volleyball nets. It's the volleyball nets. It's the volleyball nets. I know that look.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I know that look. It's the volleyball. Get it out of here, man. Word to K. Cut in.
That's only if you hooping at like a rec center or something. If you going to like a regular rec center, then you got to expect some shit like this.
Summit did that to us so
Yeah,
much.
man. At the gym, you ain't got to worry about this,
I
though.
bike there, dog. Like, my parents wasn't taking me there. I rode like 4 miles and walked in like,
damn, man.
The volleyball nets, yes.
Kool-Aid just wanted to hoop.
No, that shit.
It gets you every time. So irritating.
I don't know how I didn't think of that one, man. But as soon as I saw that look, it was like, dang.
This ain't even volleyball. My man got a badminton. He got a badminton racket. I'd be mad as hell. Like, boy, if y'all don't get this shit up out of here, bro.
Because when I was a teenager, it was at least like, Plymouth Canton and their girls are in there just practicing and having fun. But he walking in and just seeing dudes play badminton.
Yeah, bro. And you know they going to be there for at least another 2.5 hours, bro.
Yep.
It's a wrap.
You know it.
That's a good one, dog. That's a blast from the past for me, dog. Goodness.
You know it, but oh man, is that? Oh, dude, I think that's Spider-Man.
Word.
Oh!
Oh, my man was excited to see Spidey, man.
What?
Hey, I feel low, bro. I get that excited to see Spider-Man too.
I was just over here trying to drink my tea in peace, JB Smooth.
Dog.
Goodness.
Whoever cleaned that window need a raise.
Yeah, I can't
That's
even
a
see
clean
through
ass
it.
window. Oh man.
That thing is
Just the excitement.
oh my god.
The
And the
excitement.
Spidey right before he hits the glass.
Oh man. Shout out, little man.
It's a
He
tough
looking
one out
at
here.
all the other kids run up to him too, man. Dog. He was just like, yo.
That's tough. Even Spider-Man looking like, damn.
It's a tough one out here for little bro.
dog.
I gotta admit. But you know what? I'm glad I got Justin and Chase over here as well too, because 'twas the night before the finals. All through the dorms, all students were sleeping except for this asshole.
Oh, this guy.
Come on, dog.
There's a special place in hell for you.
All
brother.
right, don't be that guy.
It is 4 a.m.
Wait, who came out that room?
My man was about to throw hands.
The real question
see
is,
him?
how is he
Yeah.
not getting jumped?
I'm gonna out my roommate really quick. I don't know if you guys
Uh-oh.
Ah,
that meant
Cavassier.
Harlan, I love you. That man, like for whatever reason, he's like completely deaf to the sound of the iPhone alarm.
Oh,
it will go off for 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, I hate that.
And I'll be in the other side of the apartment, and it wakes me up. And I like as soon as I like grab the door handle on his door and I twist it, I can see like his head shoot right up, and he looks at me and he's like, "What?" And we have this like this quiet stare between each other, and then he's like,
what?
He's like, "Oh, my bad." He turns off his alarm.
Oh my bad.
It's like an everyday thing, and it's been going on. We've been roommates for 3 years now. I love the guy. Don't ever change.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me because I'm always up before him, but I always feel bad for our neighbors.
No, that's a fact.
My bad. What?
Hey, shout out to Tabitha Gable. She said she played volleyball for 6 years and on a women's league. LOL, volleyball rules.
Oh,
yeah,
hey.
no, she's been in the chat a lot more too, man. Welcome.
Absolutely
Hey,
no
shout out
hate
to
to the
Tabitha.
women that play volleyball. We love the women that play volleyball.
I told you,
so
my
shout
brother,
out to
he
you.
walk in and watching badminton at least.
Right.
Hey, I drove 4 miles.
Let's see some ladies at least.
Hey,
Right.
I get down with some beach volleyball.
Yeah. Or this sausage in here, man. I ain't trying to watch no sausage. I can't who? I can't be watching sausage for 2.5 hours.
I mean,
What the fuck are we doing here?
That's true too. And finally, I will end what's trending with this because we got the snowfall this morning as well too. So ladies, this one is for you. It is that time to stop trying to be out here being cute, trying to hit the club.
Oh, girl.
Oh!
You knew you was
Wasted.
finna bust your ass.
That is the GTA
She slid
wasted.
the whole time. Girl. It's all right, man. Throw some sneakers
Look
on.
at her, dog.
Yeah.
She's skiing, bro.
I understand you trying to look cute, man, but Nikes work. You can throw some Timbs on. With a man will respect you if you rock some Timbs. But
Yeah.
that you can't be out here
Some
doing
with
that.
some traction, not with the sleek bottom.
Yeah, like
Goodness, dog. And her homegirls.
she
is
got the
just
coochie
laughing.
skirt. Like, yeah, it's all bad, man.
Her homies are laughing at her.
Yeah,
dog.
come-
They like, look, we filming this. You're going viral.
Right.
I mean, odds are she's blacked out, so.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
for real.
that's true too. That's probably true too. But you know what? That's it for what's
Cover that
trending.
thing up, girl.
Let's hop into some mailbag.
You know what? Players has a really good suggestion here. He says
What?
from now on, you guys have to take a drink of water and hold it before every video.
Oh, stop it. There'll be spit all over this motherfucker.
I don't
Stop
think
it.
they want
Wild
that in the
challenge.
audio
They do
booth.
that on Wild Now.
Yeah, they do.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, stop. That would be hilarious. But let's say hello to some more friends and let's get into the Feldman Mailbag.
Let's do that, man.
Let's
and
rock.
of course, Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer with 18 locations. There's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest to you. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. Catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. It's Feldman Chevrolet.
And I got to tell you about Soroki's. We already told you Soroki's is taking over Michigan. Check out their new Fenton and Heartland locations today. Don't miss out on the grand opening that's actually already happening in Fenton. It was December 5th, so I hope you guys all enjoyed that. But Heartland's grand opening is today, actually, from 4 to 8 p.m. So go out there, enjoy some exclusive giveaways, a chance to win free Soroki's for a year, and the cheapest gas in the state. Come out and enjoy food, fun, and unbeatable deals at Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza.
West Virginia University is poised to bring back Rich Rodriguez.
No, I saw that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's real. He's coming
just saw
back.
that.
He's probably coming
Wow.
back. I mean, they had
He
their
was
most
good there.
they had their most success with Rich Rod.
And we were excited when he was coming here. I gotta admit, I was like,
I mean,
you know
his
what?
offense does, if it's going to work anywhere, it will work in the Big 12.
Exactly.
That is true.
You know, good on
Exactly.
him, man.
He wasn't
a bad
necessarily
guy.
doing anything great at Jacksonville State, I will say.
Yeah.
Tabitha Gable, man. Shout out to her being in the
Shout
chat.
out.
And people like the fact she played volleyball. And guys, get your Feldman Mailbag questions in the chat.
Volleyball ladies.
And Ace said, Tabitha, you are awesome. Well, you know what? Chat family complimenting each other. She says, thanks, Ace. I used to yell your name when they couldn't return my serve. Oh, Ace. Hey, shout out to Tabitha, man. Shout out to the chat family.
Yeah.
Getting funny in the chat, man. But let's get these Feldman Mailbag questions in.
Hey, let's do it.
And you know what? Just to tee back up the question of the day from the beginning, it's who are some of your favorite Detroit sports role players? Or who are some of your favorite current ones as well? So we want the ones from a historical standpoint in the past.
Yeah.
Some of the ones of today, man.
Justin, would you consider Heinrich Zetterberg a role player? No?
Definitely not.
Okay. Just wanted to check.
Isaiah Stewart.
I feel like you
love
can't wear the C as on an NHL team and be a role player
That's
for
a
the
fact.
most part.
That's a fact.
Like Dylan Larkin is right on the cusp of being like a star, like a superstar and a star.
Yeah.
I would say Henrik Zetterberg's like just right there, similar to Dylan Larkin.
Okay. Who would you, on this current Red Wings team, who are some of your favorite role players?
Marco Kasper, he's a rookie. He will not be a role player for that much longer, though. I don't really like our role players, to be honest.
Yeah,
They're
I know
all
they
old
ain't
and
been
they're all
great, but-
ass. Let's just keep it a buck. They're all old. They're all ass.
Yeah. I mean, Mo Sider. We like Mo Sider, right?
He's a superstar.
Oh, damn. Superstar.
I like
Mo
Sider.
Sider is on the
Superstar.
trajectory to be a top 8, top 5 defenseman in the NHL.
Okay.
I think Edmonton's going to be better than Sider.
That's not.
Would you say Cavassier?
I think Edvinston might end up becoming better than Sider is. Just both two ways. I think we're looking at like Victor Hedman on the Red Wings.
You could 100% be. Edmondson has made so many strides this year. It's a little easier for Edmondson to come into the Red Wings this year. He came in to be Sider's partner. Sider did not have anywhere near as good of a partner any time that he has been here.
Yeah.
So I think they're both going to be top 15 defensemen. I don't know. It's hard to say right now because Edmondson never really had the intangibles when he came out. He was kind of lanky, and he's made a lot of strides in that aspect. So, but it's hard. Mo Sider, I said it's a fair take, but I don't think we're there yet.
Can I ask Justin like a little bit of a spinball on that question?
Of course.
All right, we have 3 really, really talented prospects in the Red Wings defensive core with Axel Sandin-Pellikka,
Yep.
Mo Sider, Simon Edmondson. How would you rank those 3 if they all reach their full potential?
ASP, Sider, Edmondson.
Okay, interesting.
I think ASP is the truth. I think ASP is the offensive defenseman that this team has needed and has been without for so long. He is going to do exactly what Quinn Hughes would have done for you if you would have drafted him instead of Zadina.
Yeah, we definitely should have took Hughes.
I'll never get over that one.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Let's get into some of these questions. And as you guys see some good role players, definitely make sure that you let me know. Hey, and let's call them out. Let's shout them out. But Steve-O, baby, Feldman Mailbag. Are any of you guys pranksters back in the day? And if so, what was the biggest prank you guys have pulled when you were in college?
Not really a prank guy because I hated them done to me. Like, if you do a prank to me, we gonna scrap.
Yeah,
So I'm just gonna be real
that
about
karma out there.
it. Yeah, that ain't really my thing.
Any
But
of you guys done any pranks?
I got some givebacks.
Oh, talk to me.
No, I keep my cards close to the chest. yeah.
Chase, dog.
Chase
is a wild boy
out here.
Dog.
Chase a wild boy.
I'm in the same boat. I can't lie.
Yeah,
KG
shit.
knows what I'm talking about.
Oh,
but,
I do know what you're talking about.
I got my lick back pretty hard this year, and it will continuously be a lick that is going back when I'm not even doing anything anymore. He's just doing it to himself. So
I got a free one for the chat. Just, I've never done this one, but very easy to do.
free one for the chat.
Go to like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, anywhere where like people are obviously like constantly selling stuff.
Yeah.
Post somebody's phone number that you really do not like. Just post like free canoe, free kayak, just something like that. Like I'm moving, I'm trying to get rid of it. They're just gonna get flooded with like texts and calls and messages.
GPT.
That's actually
Menace.
cloud.
Like it's really
All of
like
that.
not that harmful of a thing to do in all reality of it. It's just
It's not that hard.
truthfully,
Not that harmful.
It's just really annoying. You got to think about like the little inconveniences that you can cause people because then it just kind of snowballs into more and more. Like I said, I'm starting to dip into the playbook too much.
Look at him.
Yeah, don't give all the cards away.
I'll give away a free one as well. I love putting clear tape on the bottom of my teammates' skates sometimes. If,
Oh, nice.
I wanna fuck with them.
That's
And
hilarious.
Then they'll walk on the ice and just like fall on their face. It's really funny.
That's hilarious. What about like in elementary school? We kind of used to do you have cancer if you put the hand over your face. So we used to punch people in the face.
type of stuff, man.
Yeah, that little silly stuff like that.
Like here, you do something to the finger and then smell it and
Right.
all that type of stuff. Like
Cheese neck. Well, that's not a prank. That's just hitting somebody.
What spitballs with the straws?
Oh no, I can't do spitballs.
Don't
put your spit on me. We gonna have a problem.
all that type.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
up, though?
I actually got one too.
He just got me.
I got one too for you guys. Oh, not that. Come on now.
It's not necessarily a prank though. You just catch me off guard.
I used to do that at work all the time.
Hate that.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Freddie Felt 313. Shout out to you, brother KG and JB. Are you watching Saturday night's main event? Did you attend the one that was at Cobo back in the day?
No, I wanted to though, but my parents were very, very cheap. So shout out to my parents. But
Same here.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely tapped into Saturday night's main event. Cody KO for the title. Pretty much know how that's gonna go, but it'll still be entertaining either way.
Yeah, it'll definitely be fun. I didn't get a chance to go either. Like you said, KG, my parents were on the cheaper side of everything too. So if it wasn't on TV for free that I could watch right there, they weren't springing a little bit much for the pay-per-views and everything like that. So I definitely will be tapped in and prepared to see a new champion in Finn Balor.
We keep hearing that. We keep hearing there's rumors it might be a big title change. So we shall see.
Hey, you know, I'm looking at some of these players in the chat. Art Vandelay, some of our, either past or present best or favorite role players in Detroit sports history. I'm seeing John Sally from Art Vandelay. Mike G. I'm seeing a lot of Darren McCarty love. Mike G says Darren McCarty. I've seen that throughout the show. So shout out to you all.
He might be the best Detroit role player of all time.
Steve O'Baby, my favorite player is Darren McCarty because he's a wrestling fan just like me too. What were we saying, brother?
Yeah, I could just going off KG's point. Darren McCarty might be the greatest
Detroit role
player of all time. You can't name a Detroit role player who has the moments, the accolades, just the pure aura that Darren McCarty has around the city of Detroit. To be a role player and to still have that level of gusto and pull is not something that a lot of people achieve. And the fact that Darren has been retired for 10, 15 years now, and he's still like, people know him, go around, like, he walks into a bar, just 10, 15 people who walk up to him. It's not normal for a role player, and Darren has truly emulated what it is to be a meaningful role player on a championship level team.
Yeah, I know D-Mac be having an aura when he walk in here, man, that green aura. Man, shout out,
man. Yeah, and this is his line. This now has been released. Definitely follow him for that. And you know what? We expect it when we go to LCA on Red Wings night and Darren McCarty night. But some of us have gotten the opportunity, and if you have, definitely speak up on it. Have you walked through Comerica Park with this man?
Oh, man.
I remember he came to the gate, pulled me through. They were like, oh, you're with Darren McCarty? Oh, well, cool, going on through. And just from that to our seats, man, at least 30, 40 people that actually said something or wanted to take a picture or wanted an autograph. And you know what? He takes the time with each and every one of them.
That's what makes D-Mac great right there. Like what we saw on like Red Wings night, the Claude Lemieux, the Avalanche night.
They closed up the line. He was like, open it back up.
Man, that was amazing, man. Because, you could be that level of celebrity, but, it gets exhausting after a certain point. I can imagine, you got people approaching you. But D-Mac literally takes his time out for every single person. Does. And it's not just a quick interaction, hey, how you doing? He literally, will talk to them and everything. Shout out to D-Mac, man, for just being a good human.
Shout out to him, man. Just a few more names here. Tuan Hutch said Larry Murphy. Michael Danye again with a Corliss Williamson reference. Yep. Tuan Hutch, Thomas Holmstrom. Nate Danielson, Mike G. Let me see here. Jonathan Lord, the golden voice.
Nate Danielson won't be a role player either.
Basketball.
What'd
you say?
Sorry, you said Nate Danielson. He won't be a role player either. He'll be a top 6 forward and probably will not be a role player.
Okay.
Dope. Shot 2-6 Feldman Mailbag.
Shot.
According to KG, should the Lions keep Hutch out of the Super Bowl and trade him in the offseason since they've been undefeated without him?
Shot, come on, dog.
You said trade Hutch?
Shot, come on, dog.
You sit in that seat, and it just seems like it comes with the territory.
That's crazy. Shot, you know you wrong for that, dog. Come on, bro.
You a flannel question.
Come on, dog. I just want the man. I just want the man to be okay, man. But what if he's out there? He's out there.
Oh,
that's
man.
Crazy, Shot.
Kirk
I rock with you. I'll be defending you against flannel too. Come on, Shot. Shot, do fucking better, bro. Do better.
411 said Kirk Maltby, but Joshua McKenzie, Feldman Mailbag. As a British person, I have to ask: do you guys ever have tea? And secondarily, do you add milk to it? I've heard horror stories.
Wait, what?
I definitely have tea. Yeah. I do. I don't necessarily do the dairy. I do have family member that add the dairy to it.
Yeah.
I don't do that, man. I just like my tea. Just my tea. Sometimes I don't even like honey with it. It just is what it is.
Is that a thing to add milk to tea?
No, for real.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
No,
Yeah,
so
no,
my
they do that
mom used to do it a lot when I was younger, so I used to do it. I don't do it as much now, but I'm a big tea drinker, man. Black tea, green tea, not
Black tea, brother.
Yeah, like I love tea, absolutely, man. And I love the British, man. They are interesting people, man. So shout out to them.
Shout out for being tapped in, man.
Shout out
Straight
Chelsea.
up. Straight up. Let's see here. We got
Was it like 4 o'clock where you're at in England? I think it's like 6
I think
hours.
so,
I think you're
yeah.
6 hours ahead.
Yeah.
5 or 6.
He didn't say whether he was tapped in from England, but he just said he was British. But
Eric Allen, you're cheating. Datsuk's rookie year is my favorite role player for that 2002 team.
yeah, but he became a star though.
Yeah.
The Magic Man. And you know what, man? There's a lot of good
Love
people
that
here who are stars too. You can say they play roles, but look around this room and I see a bunch of you all. I know saw Cavassier Chase and that dude Justin got some love as well as in this role player conversation. And these guys have been people who they work, man. That's what I've experienced here with a lot of you all. People just come in and they just do their job. And I know that we don't have nearly any of the success that we've had up to this point without people like that. So it's awesome to be able to have these types of conversations where we're looking at our Detroit sports, role players, but to know that the opportunities that we have right here, right now is because of everything that the role players here are doing.
I don't even consider us role. We all great in our own ways.
Great.
So.
Everybody. Yashawn Judah, Feldman Mailbag. Do y'all think the Pistons have a real chance to beat Boston tonight? I do. It's a game that I'm looking forward to seeing. They have a lot of time to prepare. They're going to be rested, well rested. They got out of here before the snow and the cold hit. I know they got shoot around at 10 a.m. out there in Boston. And I'm hoping that, right now it should be starting. And so, you know what? I'm looking forward to them to go out there and take it personal because Boston has been taking shots. Yeah. And their little interviews, they've done it more times. It's not just Peyton Pritchard can go out there and get 30 on it. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have taken shots several times. The only player on the team that they don't take shots at is Cade. They've openly said, whatever they say about him. And I'm like, yo, bro, worry about your own players.
Worry
about your own players.
Why is you talking down to a team that's lesser than?
Down to our team, propping up Cade, and then y'all are all practicing together on select teams. I'm hit, bro.
Yeah, that's weak.
Hit.
That's weak.
I'm hit.
Now, is Boston fully healthy? They're coming in here because the last time we played them, they were missing a couple people.
I think they're supposed to be. I'm still waiting to see the actual report.
Yeah.
But they have more than enough if they're missing one or even two of those stars. They're a solid freaking team.
No, they are a great team, man. And even from their role players down, they get production out of pretty much everybody on that team. But the Pistons did compete with them the first time they saw them, man. They literally lost that game by a possession or two.
They should have won that.
They actually should have won it. So the Pistons can compete with this team. I think the biggest thing is going to be like Jaylen Brown gonna get his, Tatum gonna get his. Stop Porzingis, bro. Kristaps Porzingis is like the X factor for that Boston Celtic team. And if he comes in there and goes off, you really don't stand too much of a chance. So.
Yeah, and Denver Blair's right. Boston shot 53s on us, and sometimes when you just have that shot going like that, sometimes there's nothing you can do. There's not a defense you can do to scheme up when the guys
when they just not missing.
On.
We saw that with the Bucks, man. They wasn't missing a shot. So
Arfshed, did Vinny Johnson get mentioned yet? Yes, he did.
The microwave. Shout out.
Get mentioned. Chase Prince, a role player. Chennavirus has.
Yes. Yes.
I wouldn't put him at well.
He's slightly above a role player, but
he took a career role as a role player. So I guess we have to. I believe he had talent to be a little bit more, but you know what? I guess you got to put him there. I feel dirty.
He was used primarily for defense, although he could create his own offense at times. So.
Defense, and then kind of the Quarters Williamson of the starting lineup. They would throw him in that post if he had the matchup. I remember in the playoffs against Philadelphia and then against the Magic. They really were able to utilize him in the post against that first year when he really introduced himself to the league. So, man, is that a show?
I believe so, man.
I think that's a show. Chat family was on one. They zoomed through this goal. If you haven't gotten the opportunity to, definitely smash that like button, share the stream. Put some comments in the actual comment section after this thing is over. KG, you did a great job today.
Hey, appreciate you, bro. This shit flew, bro. I know we started late, but this show absolutely flew by.
It flew by, man. Shout out to our brother, Flannel Sam, as well. Can't wait to have you back on the show. But this definitely was a good one. Let's break things down, man. Shout out to our brother, Matthew Boder, as well. Let's get that chest pass. Hey. you know what? Yeah, we have to go hoop too, man. Not just
Yeah,
music.
let's do it, man.
Hey, I see the support in the chat too. They're saying good show today, fellas. 2-hand hutch. Thank you guys, man. Cavassier checks. Let's get that music going as we break this thing down. DJ, that dude, Justin. Cavassier checks. What up, though, my brother?
Hey, what up? Not much. Just trying to wrap up these clips. We got Big D starting at 54 minutes. I'm not good at math, but the clock just changed on me. So I
Chase GPT.
think on the fly.
That was quick.
Yeah. Too quick sometimes.
Man, what these days blend together, bro.
But we got Ermanni and Edwards 2-4, and then end of the day heavyweights 5-7. Stay tapped in. Justin's here, back for the month, back from school. He decided to ditch Western, saying fire up for the month, and and then we have Beth over here on the side of the camera too.
Shout out Beth. Big gangster Beth in the building.
Central is a better slogan. Western doesn't have anything for a slogan.
Hey,
Central's better at everything.
I'll disagree.
Western is
Just barely. It's a low bar.
Hey, let's talk about this elite booth, though. Y'all just heard him. It's that dude, Justin. Glad to have you here for the month. And then you go back, you lock in, you crush hockey, you crush school, and then you here for the long haul, brother.
Oh, yes. Yes. It is so close to being my day to stay here. But for now, I'm just happy to be here. And, yeah, let's rock.
Happy to have you, big dog.
Brother. Happy to have you here, man. Keep cheesing, too. Keep cheesing. WUW Sports MVP in the TD booth. That's JB Smooth.
Jumbo boobies.
Oh my God.
Jatumbo.
Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to you guys as well too. Justin, I'm happy to see you back here, man, my brother. Look, be safe out there. I know the roads aren't the best, but hey, just take it easy out there and drive safe.
Hey, you know what? Great job on the desk today.
Thank you.
We talk about Detroit's #1 draft pick. He already got the Rookie of the Year in tow. He's going for that MVP as well, so he can join JB Smooth there. I was
bask in my greatness.
Right now, but we got to get to the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? We're in the middle of this Lions season, but man, hell of a job today.
Thank you.
Hell of a job just here at the network and everything that you do, man. Shout out to you, KG. I'm glad you get these opportunities.
No, thank you. I relish these opportunities, man. And shout out to all the support y'all give me in the chat. Y'all inspire me to come up here and be better each and every day, man. Can't do it without y'all. And can't do it without my amazing team, man. Kool-Aid, Justin, Chase, JB, Sam, man, Broder. Shout out Broder, man. Everybody involved with the show. We done worked hard, man. This year has been absolutely crazy, man.
And we're about to work harder because Neil's about to come in here with all that Michigan slander.
All that fucking tone, man.
I'm looking at the clock now.
I mean, I was told.
Is he here? All right. So we got a few more minutes.
Hey, Neil, that Michigan-Ohio State game, it matters to them. That shit means something to them, damn it.
Let's go, man.
I was told.
Hey, it's your boy Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter on Rider. I have to say this to Aligna. I see you in the chat.
Hey, shout out Aligna.
It's one of my faves. And shout out to Aligna.
Much love.
Your words meant a lot to me and my family about our aunt. She was the one that showed up to the Salvation Army.
Oh, yeah, you did say that, yeah.
Chase and I were there with Tom Masway and Pete Spivak, the greats. And those words went a long way. I was sitting there trying to keep a strong face.
Yeah,
I just walked in and told them guys because I haven't been vocal.
Right.
And to have her walk in and be like, hey, you know what? I saw your post. Your aunt was a great woman. That meant a lot to me. So shout out to you.
Shout out to
the chat family is really a family, man. Let's rock, man. Go on ahead and smash that like button on the way out if you guys haven't gotten the opportunity to. I hope you guys have a great day. Tomorrow's going to be epic pep rally day. We break down this game. We got high def stuff in the building. He's bringing energy. He's ready to talk Lions,
that's
bro.
my guy, man. Shout out.
Shout out, man. Let's go, man. Have a day, y'all. It's been Wake Up Woodward.